Hi again, everybody. Welcome back to Enjoy English School. I'm Bruce.
Hello, I am Bernice.
Today in our features section of your magazine, we have a cute little story about a cute little animal. The title is Hamsters, Furry Little Friends.
Yeah, furry, which means hairy.
Let's take a look in a moment at how to raise them and why so many people like them.
Wow.
They're quite a popular pet these days, and we'll tell you why in a moment.
Okay.
Hamsters, furry little friends. Hamsters are rodents that have become popular household pets. They are small and furry with short tails and pointy noses. There are about 20 different species of hamsters, but only a few of these are kept as pets. Only living for 2 or 3 years, hamsters have very poor vision, but they can sense movement around them. They communicate with high-pitched squeaks and body language. Hamsters are more active at night than during the day. They like to dig burrows and are famous for storing food such as seeds, fruits, and nuts in their cheeks. This is because they have large cheek pouches, which are pockets that they can fill with food to bring back to their burrow. If you're considering raising hamsters, keep in mind that there should be only one hamster in each cage. Otherwise, adult hamsters will fight with each other. The cage should be large enough for the hamster to move around, and it should also have a place for it to hide. Some people build tunnels for their hamster to crawl in. Another popular toy is a spinning wheel that hamsters can run on. It is good to keep hamsters busy because if they get bored, they are likely to try to escape.
Okay, let's begin, of course, with the first paragraph, first sentence. Hamsters are rodents that have become popular household pets. Don't tell anybody you are raising a rodent because they will think that you're either raising a mouse or worse, a rat. But actually, rodents are many, many kinds of animals. And one of them are these cute little hamsters that we will introduce to you today. And because they are popular pets, we can call them household pets. Of course, they come from nature, but over time they have been taken care of and fed in homes, and you can even have baby hamsters, and they will stay in your home maybe for many generations.
Like dogs and cats.
Right, those are really popular household pets. Okay, let's continue. They are small and furry with short tails and pointy noses. A pointy nose will be like a triangle on the middle of your face. A short tail is just what it says. It's not a long tail like a dog or cat. Yes, it is really small. You might not even notice it at first. There are about 20 different species of hamsters.
Wow.
Now, the word species, that's how I pronounce it, but anyone can also pronounce it species. And this refers to, in biology, the study of life, when we study animals or plants. We are every living thing is in a species. So, rodents will be a big class of animals, and then we go down to what they call a genus, don't worry about that, and then to species. So, for example, birds. How many kinds of birds are there?
I don't know.
Thousands, right? So we need a way to find in science how we know we are talking exactly about one special kind of bird, and we use the name of the species.
Oh, okay.
But only a few of these are kept as pets. This is the second part of this sentence. About 20 different species of hamsters, but not all of them can be kept as pets. Species can be very different in many ways. maybe not just in the size or the color or where they live or what they eat. There are many different ways that you can make, or I should say, you can describe, talk about a species. So lots and lots of hamster types in the world, but only a few make good pets. We could say the same thing about cats.
Yeah, right.
Right? Some cats, like the lion,
No. you can't.
You do
keep
not
them.
want to try to raise a lion in your home. It's not a household pet, but a hamster is. Only living for 2 or 3 years, hamsters have very poor vision, but they can sense movement around them. So there are 2 pieces of information here that are useful if you want to raise a hamster, this kind of pet. It only lives for 2 or 3 years, and that's true of most rodents. Mice and rats also only live a couple of years, 2, 3 years. Our hamster has poor vision. Vision refers to our ability to see.
Yeah.
And for example, we talk about something, if it is visible, we can see it.
Yes.
V-I-S-I-B-L-E. V-I-S-I-B-L-E. If something is visible, you can see it. And I love 天文学, so I can go out in the night sky and I can point to stars and tell you their names. But there are some things that are so far away, we cannot see them with our own eyes. We say they are not visible to the eye of a person. We have to use binoculars or a telescope or some other instrument in order to see them. If it's not visible, it's invisible. 对, I-N at the beginning here means not.
Yes.
If it isn't visible, then it's invisible. Now, hamsters have a hard time finding things by their sight, by what they can see with their eyes, but they can sense movement around them. Sense just means to feel.
Yes.
So they may not be able to see another hamster, but there are other ways to know that he's near a hamster. Smell. Sound. Hamsters make sounds, and when they move, he can sense, like when you're dancing, you might be able to sense, if you dance with a partner, what they are going to do next. You don't know it by looking at them. You can just feel what they're going to do next.
Yes.
Okay. We said that. We finish now the first paragraph with this sentence. They, hamsters, communicate with high-pitched squeaks and body language. So communicate, of course, is when 2 of the same species, 2 people, 2 dogs, 2 hamsters, 2 snakes, how do they communicate? How do they, we people, we talk and listen. That's the main way that we communicate. But we also see what people are doing, and that's a way to communicate as well. And if I don't take a bath for 3 or 4 days, I will communicate by my smell. So even people have different ways to communicate. Well, for hamsters,
that squeaks.
Those are, and that's high-pitched.
Yes.
This is low-pitched. This is high-pitched.
Not high enough. That is high.
That's high. And body language. Now, we people do that as well.
Yeah.
We use
Gestures.
soji, exactly. Gestures and smiling if you're happy and not smiling if you're not happy and so on. Well, hamsters also have ways to communicate with each other by their gestures or movements. Okay, let's take a short break now. Try to remember some of the points we just talked about because we have new information in the next paragraph.
All right.
Okay, welcome back. Let's look at our second paragraph now. Hamsters are more active at night than during the day. And this is true of most rodents. They are busy at night. They're looking for food, communicating with each other, exploring any new territory around them, new spaces around them.
So that's why we see a lot of rats or mice in our kitchen at night.
At night.
Oh, terrible.
Or out on the street. If you are late out at night and it's not a lot of traffic, if it's a quiet neighborhood, that's when you could see rodents.
Yeah.
They like to dig burrows and are famous for storing food such as seeds, fruits, and nuts in their cheeks. That's dig.
Yes.
And a burrow is what they dig. Basically, it's a long hole. And why would they dig it? Because they are safer under the ground than over the ground. They're not big animals, and they have, especially hamsters, they can't protect themselves very well.
Yeah.
So they like to dig burrows and are famous for storing food. Storing means to keep.
Yes.
You're not going to use it now. You're going to use it later. Their food, seeds, fruits, and nuts, where are they stored?
Here.
Yep.
Wow, how cute.
In their cheeks.
Yeah.
These are our cheeks. The sides of our face are our cheeks. And you may have seen pictures of that. They really can put a lot of food.
Yeah, right.
It looks like they have balls of food inside their mouths. This is because they have large cheek pouches. That's just what we said. Now, a pouch is like a pocket, which are pockets that they can fill, they can stuff, S-T-U-F-F.
Yeah.
Put a lot of things in a small area into those two pouches that they can fill with food to bring back to their burrow. So they go out at night looking for food. If they're lucky, they find a lot. No problem. They can fill up those pouches and then go back to their burrow.
Wow, how convenient. They don't even need a bag.
Okay, let's take another short break and we'll finish up in the next paragraph.
All right.
Okay, again, the last paragraph. If you're considering raising hamsters, we often use the verb keep also, to keep a pet, to raise a pet. Keep in mind, don't forget, remember that there should be only one hamster in each cage. Why? Otherwise, if you don't, otherwise, adult hamsters, grown-up hamsters, will fight with each other. And it doesn't matter if it's male, female, 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 or male, male. They don't get along very well for whatever reason. And the cage that you use to keep your or raise your hamster, the cage should be large enough for the hamster to move around.
Yeah, right.
Of course, you don't want to put him in a coffee cup.
No.
You want a cage where it can move around. And it should also have a place for it to hide. So you can build that yourself, or you can put in some wood chips. How do you say that in Chinese?
Wood chips will be 木屑.
Yeah, I remember hearing it before. If you do that, they can cover themselves and pretend they're hiding.
Oh.
They don't like to be seen by everything around them. Some people build tunnels for their hamster to crawl in. Well, you'd have to have a lot of room for that, and then you would need a lot of dirt and so on. But if you can do it, do it. Crawl, pa, is like this.
Like a baby.
Exactly. And they're underground most of the time, so of course they have to crawl. Another popular toy is a spinning wheel. That's right. Spin is to turn, usually quickly.
Yeah.
And you've seen these in pet shops where the mouse or the hamster or sometimes a rat, they're really just at the bottom of the wheel and they crawl, but very, very quickly.
Yes.
And the wheel goes around and around. They love it. It's the only exercise they can get. I need a wheel.
Yeah, right.
The spinning wheel that hamsters can run on. Here we say to run. It is good to keep hamsters busy. You don't want your hamster being bored and then they get sick. Because if they get bored, they are likely to try to escape.
Oh.
They want to get away. There's nothing to do. Yeah, you feed it, but if you don't spend time with it or take it out of the cage and slowly make it comfortable to the rest of your house, then what's the point? Any animal is like that. You have to take dogs out to walk them. You need to have high places or a porch for cats
So
to go out.
people should provide them with enough entertainment.
Yeah. No, not just a
They want
cage.
to have fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? Okay. We have now finished the text for today. And we have our review vocabulary coming up in just a minute.
All right.
Okay, welcome back. And now we're getting ready to finish the program. But of course, before the end of every program, we have a vocabulary list for you. These are words maybe you never saw before, or you saw but you forgot, or you may even be familiar with them, but maybe I can give you some extra information about the words.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the first one is household. Household. Well, you all know house. That's one of the first words we learn when we study a foreign language. But to hold something, a household, what does that mean? It refers really to how many people live in, whether it's a family or not, how many people live in a house, and what is the way they organize how they live in the house. So do they have just one bathroom? Do they have a bathroom on each floor? Do they have a cellar? How many TVs are in the house? How many refrigerators? A lot of people who study social science or economics, they ask a lot of private questions about families. They want to know better what the population, what the people in a country or in a city, how do they live? And so it's not just, oh, look at this house outside. They also want to know how many people live inside and how many bedrooms and on and on. That idea is a household.
Totally understand this word.
Okay, number 2. We talked about this, of course, that although our hamsters cannot see very well, they can sense each other. They can feel whether there are other hamsters around them, or if a hamster makes a motion, maybe starts to walk, the other hamster or hamsters will feel that. So this, in general, sense simply means to feel, to be able to feel. And the adjective is useful here too, sensitive, which is based on sense, sensitive. sensitive. I'm so sensitive. But it has a good meaning too, that like sensitive to music, people can sing. They can join in singing because they can feel the music. They understand it.
Yeah, so we use to after sensitive.
Good point. All right, number 3, communicate. A long word and an important one too. That's to be able to understand other people. People usually do this through language.
Yes.
But of course you've seen people who cannot speak or who cannot hear, but they can communicate very well with each other, as well as you and I can by listening and speaking. Well, species do the same thing.
Yeah.
They have their own ways to communicate.
Yes.
Number 4, active. Active means you're not lazy and you do a lot of things or you move around a lot. You're busy most of the time. Number 5, cheek. We talked about 2 cheeks. Sometimes we call them pouches, but cheek is better for people. Number 6, keep in mind that. This means remember something because it's important. Pay attention to something. Keep in mind that we will be angry at you if you don't study your English.
Really, you have to remember that.
Okay, next word is a verb. Crawl. Crawl. So it's not just babies who crawl, but many animals crawl under the ground.
Yes.
And our last word is spinning. Well, the verb is spin, and that is to go around very, very quickly. Or, 我们的地球, it spins around, it turns around.
Yeah.
Actually pretty fast, but we can't feel it. All right, so much for Hamsters for today. We hope you enjoyed our program, and we will be back. Bernice and I will be back a few more times this month.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to helping you with your English. Until then, bye-bye.